Oh. I said, let's not fuck it up this week. And what do I got to do? And click on my fucking mouse, don't I, while I'm in the middle of it? Well, that ended greatly. It's one of them days, I'm telling you, lads. It's one of them days. Well, anyway, we might as well get started. Welcome to the Arse Bros Friday Arse. As always, joining me is the smooth man himself. That way. Cory, my man, how's it going?
I'm good. Love a bit of Friday Arse, so glad to be here. Enjoy the Arse with Ryan and Gary, and you. We all love Arses. Let's have it.
It won't be Friday without us, mate.
Exactly.
That's all I need to say. Do you know, I was working on your, I was messing about doing some video stuff, and I'm nearly finished with your Friday Night Smooth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so that's going to come onto the show, mate. I'm telling you. I'm having it.
Oh, bring it. Yeah,
intro.
Listen, I want to see that shit. Yeah.
You're going to enjoy it. It's a bit shit. It's a bit shit, but you'll enjoy it.
Everyone will enjoy it.
The intro shit, but you'll enjoy it. Joining us tonight, Ryan, fellow Arse brother. How's it going, mate? Yeah, it'd help if you want on mute, dickhead.
I literally muted. I just muted myself a second ago. Whatever. Yeah, good. I'm doing good.
Good, mate. Good. And back again this week, Gary. Don't waste a tweet. How's it going, mate?
It's going good. Hello, everyone. Yes, it's Friday. We got 2 more days, and then we get to hopefully see something good.
Sorry, I apologise for that. Yeah, well, we might as well go straight into that. We've got Leeds coming up on Valentines Day. I put it out on there on the tweet that I did this. Is it going to be a Valentines Day massacre? For who? Which side? What can we say? Cory, are you looking forward to this one, mate?
So on the last episode, facing Aston Villa, I said, revenge. That's the key word here. We need to let them have it and whatnot. Didn't happen.
Yeah, we all fucked up there, mate.
Yeah, so that was a time where I thought, just the team should be motivated. You can't let Villa take 6 points off you in a season, but lo and behold, they did. So Leeds, I think we all remember what happened last time we faced Leeds. Pepe got sent off, and we sort of came away sort of lucky not to lose the match. So with that, I would think that we want to put that right as well, especially Pepe as well. He should want to make up for that. But I'm starting to see that these players are just not made of that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? They don't have it in them to they don't have that type of attitude. I think they're kind of going into these matches just without that fire in their belly, without that pride. And so I'm not looking forward to this one that much. I think for some reason I feel like Leeds are going to be more motivated to beat us because they couldn't beat us when we only had 10 men before.
Well, I think you're being a bit harsh there, mate, to be fair. I thought we weren't too bad against Villa. We just couldn't score. We saw quite a bit of possession in that game, and there was a little bit of fight. I agree with you, there wasn't a lot, but there was a little bit there. It wasn't bad.
I didn't want a little bit. I wanted a lot. They beat us 3-0.
We all wanted a lot, mate. I agree.
Yeah, they beat us 3-0. I just seen a little bit. That's not good enough. It's like if I lost a fight to you, Mike, yeah, and then we have a rematch. Do you know what I mean? I've been training. I've been looking forward to it. I've just had my eyes on you, just like, yeah, I'm going to actually destroy you, right? I'm not then just going to go into the fight, throwing a few jabs or whatever. I'm going to look to take your head off. And I didn't see that. They weren't that great. And then the players that came off the bench or whatever, they didn't look that hungry. That's not the attitude. That's not the fight that I wanted to see. And so I don't think you can really take players' motivations and attitudes into these matches anymore. I think you kind of just got to break it down as do you think we're better than them? Can we beat them? And with Leeds, I'm not so sure.
Oh, that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. Ryan, how did you feel about the upcoming game? How did you feel about last weekend's game?
Yeah, so kind of to get to Cory's point a little bit, I think that, these guys don't really think about, oh, what did we do against this team the last time we played them? They at least as far as Arsenal players are concerned, I don't think they circle their calendars and go, oh, this is the game we want, this is the game we're waiting for. I think they just take things game by game. They want to perform, they want to, get the stats going, look good for the whatever, the fans, the coaches, whatever, get paid more. But I don't think it's really of like revenge game and Pepe's going to look for Alioski and it's going to be a huge deal. As much as I want it to be, I would love that. I would love Pepe to score and get in Alioski's face and just kind of like a Van Nistelrooy and just cheer in front of him. But it's tough because, like I said, I want that. I want that passion. I want that fire. Like Cory said, I want us to go all out. The Villa game, I thought we played well. I just think that we couldn't score. I think also too, a big thing was I don't think us or Villa were expected to go, 1-0 down 2 minutes in. I think once that happened, 2 minutes in, it's 1-0. I think the game is completely different. I think Villa is like, oh, whoa, we didn't expect this. What do we do? And we're like, oh, what do we do? Because we want to be in the front foot early. We want to, put the pressure on early and score. But it's easy to say because we're 1-0 down. So yeah, that's exactly what we should be doing. But it's just when it happens, when the goal goes in, because of our defensive mistakes, the game changes regardless. And I think knowing how to adapt was a big issue for us. And yeah, we tried to put one in, but it just, like Cory said, it wasn't enough.
No, fair enough. Gary, have you got anything to add?
I think that's. I think we got smacked in the mouth, and then we basically forgot that we still had 88 minutes to maybe get something back. I always feel like the sense of urgency and the clinicalness, the clinical play that we need in front of the goal just isn't there. And you miss that, you see what the game looks like. We kind of have chances, but we never feel like, what, this one's going to go and we're going to get something back here. That's first 70 seconds basically killed the game. And that means that we weren't prepared coming in, which has kind of been the problem. We come into games behind.
But see, the thing is, like, people say that, like, oh, we weren't prepared. I guess when you go into a game, you always want to be prepared for everything. But I don't even think Villa was prepared to go up 1-0 in the first 100 seconds into the game. So I think that just threw a wrench into the plan. But again, these are professional players on very high wages, especially Arsenal. You would think you would have plan A through Z already lined up in a row. But, as we see and as the season has progressed, like under Arteta, we're slowly evolving and we still haven't turned that corner yet. I think we're getting there. But I think it's just a matter of time. But obviously with Arsenal fans, we don't care about time. We want now.
Yeah, when I say prepared, it was the entire thing is what Arteta's saying, the players coming in. Everything about how that game started is, probably what, epitomizes kind of how we are sometimes. We come in and bang. And then the trick with that whole thing is we just don't have anybody else to kind of wake the guys up after something does let you down, because it's going to happen. No matter whether we're, undefeated or, lost every game, there's got to be somebody there. And it wasn't. Who was that person that was going to say, you know what, my mistake, right? If that was Cedric, my mistake, or Holding, that was my mistake. Don't worry about it. We can get this back. Right. And
it's funny because if you think about, like, perfectly said, we have no leaders on the pitch. If you look at, like, the players and you go, like, who's going to be the guy that's going to scream and going to be like, guys, focus. It's the guys that we don't want on the field. It's the guys that Gary, you and me never want to name on a given podcast. It's players that, as Manny always says, same guys, always making mistakes. But it just happens to be that those are the guys that, in a way, like, I guess, like, a good example would be, David Luiz. He's kind of been there before. He's won the title. He's done prestigious stuff, I guess. I don't want him on the field. He wasn't on the field against Villa. Well, I'm just saying, like, if you look at, just the guys on our team that could potentially get the guys going, motivate the guys, scream at them, kind of, I guess, be the general on the field. We don't have one, but I'm just saying if you have a pick of the litter of who we have, it's the guys that we don't want on the field to begin with. As Manny says, the usual suspects. Right. So I think it's a big thing, and it's a thing that as Arse Pros we've talked about. I think we've had podcasts about it, just like being a leadership and like who do we want, who do we need, what kind of leader do we need? It's no one on this team because we gave it to X-Man. He threw his kid on the pitch. He threw the armband. He went at it with the fans. Don't want him. So I think it. Again, I'm going to keep probably prefacing this just because it is what it is. We're learning, we're evolving, we're trying to figure out our identity, our culture, and where we are. But I think the leader that we need isn't necessarily on the team yet. I do think Tierney can be there, and he's my top choice to be the new captain of the team next season. But it's just I think bringing the right players in to suit the team and to help out, whether it's leadership on and off the field.
No, yeah, all right, that's fair enough. To go again on the Leeds game, we are going to be missing Thomas Partey as well as Kieran Tierney by the looks of it. Partey's still looking. Yeah, he's definitely not going. I'm just reading up here. Tierney's definitely not going. Leno and Louise are back after serving their one-match bans. Leeds look to be without Calvin Phillips and Rodrigo and Pablo Hernandez. They're three guys that I'd probably want on the pitch against us, really. I don't know if you'd agree, Cory, because them three are pretty decent, to be fair.
Well, you mean you don't want on the pitch?
Well, if I was a Leeds fan.
Oh, okay.
So if I was a Leeds manager, there's three guys there who I'd want on the pitch, especially someone like the Calvin Phillips. I was quite an advocate for in the summer we should sign Calvin Phillips because he's one of them players that can play in defence and plays a defensive mid, and he's very good at it. But I know there's a lot of people out there who back then, before Leeds started playing as they are in the Premier League, were like, oh, no, he's only a championship player. But we all know what these championship players are doing right now, especially look at Ollie Watkins. Is it Watkins who scored against us? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at him. He's not doing great. He's not doing that bad, is he? Let's face it. So these championship players are stepping up.
Yeah, I think when we're talking about Leeds and their danger men, I think, there's three guys. You're talking Bamford, you're talking Rafinha, and you're talking Harrison. Those guys sort of give the team that spark. We know about Leeds. We know like it's every game they bomb forward. It's just attack. What's the manager's name? Beliza? Am I pronouncing it right?
Sear, I think, is it?
Oh yeah, he's intense. Know. Like you see his stance on the touchline. Like, he's always got that I'm gonna have a shit stance. You know what I mean? He must have knees of steel, right? That through the majority of the match, he's in that position. He's just intense. Everything is just like he doesn't like Leeds to be comfortable. He's not comfortable as a manager. He doesn't like to sit down. You know what I mean? That reflects to the guys on the pitch. So
he's got his translator shouting next to him.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. When I look at Leeds, I kind of feel like we need a bit of that because a manager's character and personality and stuff does rub off onto the team. And if they're looking at him and he's not relaxed, he's in a stance that he's like, I'm not satisfied with this. I'm not chilled. You know what I mean? I don't expect you guys to be. I expect you guys to be on your toes. And I think the players that I just mentioned, I kind of credit them with that. They're always on the move. Bamford's always on the move. Rafinha's always on the move. Harrison is always on the move. Yeah. Those three bring their intensity to that side. So they're playing. Those are the ones that I'm more worried about, more so than the players that are missing. That you mentioned.
I don't know. Rodrigo's been on fire recently. I know he's been playing. He's had a few
but
I know what you're saying about Bamford. He seems to be always there scoring.
Bamford, Rafinha, Harrison. If they're missing, then I think Leeds lose a lot. But with Rodrigo, I think as much as that he's decent when he comes in, it's like he's not one of those players that have to be there for them to play like how they play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. And these were the danger men against us last time. So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this match as much as I would have been if we went into the match with 2 wins, maybe a win and a draw under our belt. I think that's the issue for me, is we're going in with 2 losses. We're on a bit of a downward spiral. We look to be like we are. Well, we're missing 2 key players there in Tierney and Thomas Partey, because I think over the last couple of games, Partey has been a decent player for us. He's not been crap. But someone mentioned in the comments here, actually, is it Mike Hurts? I'm starting to think there's something seriously wrong at the club for players with no injury history to come to Arsenal, AFC, and get frequent injuries. You know, this is his 2nd one so far. Is it 2nd or 3rd one so far this season? He's been out injured. Mm-hmm. And he's only really played. How many games has he played? What, 6, 7, maybe? I don't know.
I think he's played at like 10, or is it 10 or something like that?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know.
Not full, but yeah, I mean, I don't think has he played a full game? I'm not even sure about that.
No, I don't think he's played a full game.
I think there's different factors. I think there's different factors that could come into that. Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're good.
Just like, you know what, you're in a new country with a new climate, new training regime, and whatnot. Just those changes there can make it so that you're more susceptible to injury. So I don't know. Cold something as well. To do with exactly.
When you're used to a warm climate, like where was he? Atletico. Atletico. One to you is. You're in a warm climate, really. It's not winter's not as harsh here, especially recently, where it's. I don't know about you. You're further down south than me, Cory, but where it's in the -6s, -7s.
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's the same here.
It's chilly. Yeah. It's chilly.
Yeah, and they got to go out and train in that. So
yeah, Ryan's going to turn around. So it's -30 here.
No, it's cold here. It's definitely not that cold. It's really cold.
So yeah,
no, but I mean, perfect. That's exactly what I was gonna say. And also, too, people don't also take into account like he's playing in a faster, more physical league. Like La Liga, I don't care what anyone says. La Liga has nothing on the Premier League. It's just it's a change. It's a change of pace, a change of physicality, and it takes a little to get used to. And also, to double down on his latest injury, I think that he just, getting that first injury, coming back against the Scum early and kind of re-aggravating it, healing. I still don't think he was at 100% when he now just recently got hurt. So I think it's just a domino effect. And I think that's something it's really hard to control and like prevent, because, it's a new league and new everything. And you can't just you want the player to get back to 100%, as quick as possible, obviously, but you can't baby the injury, because if you baby the injury, then again, and you wait, the player will come back with zero fitness, and then he may get even hurt even more. So it's you lose for the most part. So it's just take the bumps and bruises as you go and just move on. And yes, it's a big loss, losing Partey and Tierney. But we should 100% still get 3 points against Leeds with the team we have. I don't, if it's not, but if it's a Ceballos on any midfield, I still expect 3 points from our team, just based on, everybody else around the thing. And not that this guy's a superstar either, but Leeds is also missing their starting center back in Cooch, who's like,
oh yeah, I forgot about
that. He's somebody that he's not going to be like, starting center back for the German national team. He's someone that they look at, someone that they may put him in a back three scenario. He's not playing, and they have some Eastern European guy who's not great. But again, they're not known for their defense, and we've talked about it here. Me and Gary have been a part of the same old Arse USA, and we've talked about that too. But then you look at Leeds' last 5 games; they've only conceded 5 goals. They've conceded only 5 goals in 5 games. So, and this season, barring their first this calendar year, they lost 3-0 to Scum. But besides that, they're only letting in one goal a game, except when they lost to Everton 2-1, and then they lost in the FA Cup. But I don't really count that. But so they are improving defensively. They are getting more structure. But again, I just think with the chaos that we have in Pepe, also with Saka and ESR. And I do think, I'm going to kind of jump the fence and flip-flop a little bit with the point I made earlier, saying how, these players don't care. They just see it as the next game. I do think, low-key, the pit of his stomach, I do think Pepe has a point to prove. But I think also that's doubled with he's starting to come into form. He's starting to play better. I know his last game he wasn't the greatest, but he's starting to kind of build momentum, build confidence. And I do think this is a game. Take his red card against Leeds out of it completely. I think this is a game he sees that he's like, I could score a couple goals here. I could do damage in this game against a team like Leeds just based on the way they play and just their personnel on the field. So
no, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand. Before I bring you in, Gary, I'm just trying to sort this. Yeah, so I apologise because there was a massive advert on the website I'm looking at, and I didn't see the rest of their players that are also out. They're missing Pervader, Lorente. I don't think it's Cooch. I think it's Koch and Berardi. So
I just like saying
they're the only ones that are missing. It's a Gooch. So I think he's another one. Like you said, like you were just saying, Ryan. I agree. He's a good defender. So I think they are going to be missing him. I was just trying to see who else was in their squad, but there you go. Nah, whatever. Anyway, we'll get back onto that later. Is it what? Yeah, sentiment put in. We got in a new physio in. As we was talking about Thomas Partey a minute ago. Yes, we did lose a physio to Liverpool, and he was highly regarded. I cannot for the life of me remember his name, but we also just got a new one in. So you could be right in, like you say, number of factors, Corey. That doesn't help either, getting a new physio, because we don't know I don't know who it is. I ain't got a clue of his background, but I know the one that we did have was fantastic.
I mean, the one thing, you got a new physio. It takes a while before the players can get acclimated to what that physio wants. So it's not usually their process takes, I think, months before the players settle into exactly what the physio is looking for out of his players when he comes in. So we're kind of in a state of, not flux, but we're kind of growing. These are what I call growing pains. I mean, you bring in a new physio, it's going to be months before the players get acclimated to what he wants them to do, and how he looks at them and kind of figures out what best kind of a program they're going to need. So when they come in and immediately get hurt, it kind of sets back anything that he has, because they can't even follow his, whatever his instructions are, because he's dealing with, an injury that maybe they had before, or he created with some of his, some of the instructions that he's given them. And that's always an issue with the physios when you bring a new one in, that all your players seem to come down with this, or maybe come down with similar injuries, because you kind of see that over here in the States sometimes when they bring in a new, what they call strength and conditioning coach. They have their own thoughts as to how the team should, build up for the season. And if it's not, if the body's not used to it, you're going to get these injuries, at least in the early days. Long term, hopefully things don't. But I mean, it's not necessarily a surprise, but it's concerning, because it's where you put all your resources, right? I mean, we put our resources into Partey being the one guy to kind of solidify that middle for us, and we can't even get him out there for more than 60 minutes before he comes out with an injury. So
have you guys seen our new physio? He's a brick shithouse. He's on all the steroids. He's jacked. He's so jacked. Manny, listen, Manny, I know you're gonna get on me for this. Manny be jealous. His muscles. I think he comes from PSG. He's jacked. I don't know if it's a good thing. I'm guessing. I would think he knows a thing or two about nutrition and like how to stay fit and in shape. So.
Well, if you're on the juice, mate, you don't know much about nutrition.
Nah, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But yeah, if you guys see a picture of him, he is jacked. So I don't know, but definitely a good point by Gary. I do think that the regiment is probably going to be a little different. And I think definitely some getting used to by a lot of the players.
That's fair enough. Well, it does bring me to a point, actually, Gary. A comment, from Brian. Do you think do you think he may have adjusted and settled better if he'd been brought into the squad earlier in the summer window, Thomas Partey? If there's a new physio and everything else, yes, probably. He's acclimatizing. He's got a month acclimatizing extra, hasn't he? So yeah, I would assume so. He'd probably be a little bit better, or a bit further along in his process. But
I mean, in general, just to get familiar with his teammates. That's you bring in somebody like it's been like you said. Many people say it's been years since we've had a player like Partey to come in. The last thing you want to do is bring him in on the last day of the window if you're thinking, you know what, this might be the guy that's going to get us through this season and get things going. If you you really want to bring him in as soon as possible, right? One, to make sure there aren't any kinks, and also to get him fit into your formation and structure that you want to go. So go with. So I think
that's typical Arsenal, though, isn't it? Like we went into the season with no plan, really. Do you know what I mean? The team
right
did not. The team did not.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, there was no plan. The team didn't look like how the manager wanted it to look. We're there trying to get we're trying to get Partey. We're trying to save money whilst doing it. Everything was not set up ideally. Even the way the team shaped up, in terms of where Saka's playing, where ESR's playing, the fact that he's even playing in the first team, none of that was planned. The team is a sort of things have just panned out as they are. Because it was such a shit show in the first place.
Yeah, if the four at the back was his goal, then he should have been trying to do everything he could to make sure he had a team starting day one that could actually play it. I never thought he was going to be able to do that, so I figured he would just stick with the three, which is kind of what he did. But based on what we've seen so far, as they've moved more to the four at the back, that's what he wants to play, and he does have the players. He just hasn't, he hasn't trusted them enough to put them out there and get it done. It's like I said, growing pains.
We got one left back. Do you know what I mean? We got rid of Klesnes. We couldn't wait to get rid of him, but we have no backup. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that's not part of the plan, is it? No one, playing Cedric there. Again, Cedric is just like, oh, let's try him. Because we tried Maitland-Niles, they didn't like it. So let's try Cedric there. Oh, okay, it's not too bad. Nothing is planned out. It's just all, let's make it up as we go along. So where we look at,
it's plastering like a gaping wound, isn't it? This thing needs stitches. It don't need a plaster.
It's unnecessary. It's just like if the club was run better, do you know what I mean? We don't have to do all of this.
That's the other issue in it as well when you come to it, because there's a lot of comments about the physios and stuff like that. And there was a physio sacked under Emery, or he left under Emery. I think that's the one that went to Liverpool. He was quite a guru. Well, someone mentioned there he's a guru, a physio guru. Was from the Aussie Rules football, which he was apparently. He was a really good physio. It really sought after, and I think Liverpool ended up snatching him. And then there's a lot of changes going on at the club at the minute. I think there's been more people let go. I don't know the full ins and outs of it, so I couldn't tell you who, where, or what department, anything. I'm not entirely sure of who's going where. But I know there's just been some more people let go due to the whole situation that's going on now. Obviously, other departments in the club have been let go. Again, I ain't got a clue where. I don't know the full ins and outs of the club. All I see is what everyone else sees on TV or in the newspapers. So, again, what can you do? So, if there's physios disappearing, if there's this person disappearing, if there's trainers, or like Gary said a minute ago, you got strengthening and conditioning trainers, if they're disappearing, it's going to affect people.
Again, bottom line is Willian has to get.
I'm just guessing.
Willian has to get paid, so we have to let go of our good staff to make sure that he gets his wages. Do you know what I mean?
But that's another name we just don't want to have to talk about anymore.
Yeah,
right?
That's the bottom line. So Willian has to get paid. We have to pay Willian a shitload of money. Yeah. So we let go of our physios and the other good members of staff. Yeah, to make sure that this guy could come in and do as much as what I'm doing for Arsenal at the moment, which is fuck all.
Fucking hell, Cory, you're going all.
I'm a little bit. I'm a bit pissed off.
You've just gone in there.
I'm a bit pissed off this week. I can't lie, because it's like after I really expected something different from Villa, and I want to pose this question to you guys, right?
Go on.
I want you to think about it for a few seconds. Do we have the worst manager in the league?
No, I don't have to think about that.
All right, who's worse? I want you to think about if any other manager that was in charge of Arsenal from last season up till now, if we would be in a lower position in the league with the players that we've got, considering what they're doing with their club.
I almost feel like it's relative, because you're talking about an Arteta.
That's your opinion. Just your opinion. Like who would you say, like, if you look at, say, the bottom teams, like we look at, you know, like Sheffield United, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that Wilder is worse than Arteta?
Yes.
Think about,
Sheffield
you would
last
after
place.
what he did last year with
We're
that,
not
with
talking
that team.
about last year. You're saying last year to now.
I'm saying from last year.
Yeah, to now.
No, to now. Yeah.
Yeah.
From what these managers have shown, right? Who is worse than Arteta?
The reason why I hesitate on that question is because I look at Arteta as similar to what I mean, it may not turn out. We'll see, but to kind of how we look at our youth when they come through the system, right? They come out, they show good, but then after a while, we got to set them down and slow them down because they just can't keep up. And I feel like Arteta's in that same spot. He's a young manager, and he may come out, and he kind of came out, got a FA Cup out of nowhere, right? Surprised us. You know, that's like Martinelli making that run down by, you know, against Chelsea. We haven't seen that again, but we know it's there. Similarly, with Arteta, we know something's there because he's got a structure, right? That the team can follow, and you know, if they listen to him, then good things will happen. I feel like this is to me almost like when you say, you know what, the Millsworth Road looks like he's leggy right now. He needs to sit it down. But the problem is he can't do that, right? He's a manager, so he's got to just fight through this thing. And we're gonna, if the team is okay with that, then that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to fight through with this, you know, kind of look at these bad days, these bad stretches, and kind of live with them because that's what the team wants. I don't know if they actually thought that one through. That's the problem, right? We talked about, you know, was it a plan to bring in Arteta and then kind of go through these dark days as you know we're seeing? I don't think they thought that one through. I don't think they knew that could happen, even though they should have, right?
Do you know, okay, I was all for Arteta. Like when we were linked with him and talk, I was like, all right, you know, let's give him a chance because there's been a few young managers that have, you know, got quite a big job for their first job, and they've really shown that they've got some talent. They've really shown that they've got like this style of play, and that they've got, you know, something that you can work with. Yeah, but more and more time has gone by with this man. I don't really see a style of play. I don't see good management.
Huh.
I don't see a style of play. Are we an attacking team or are we a defensive team? Yeah. Do we play expansive, exciting football? Do we? Or are we rock solid at the back? Yeah. Do we play with passion? Do we play with intensity? Do we play a high press? You know, what is it? What is Arsenal's identity under Mikel Arteta? Because even when I think about Scott Parker and stuff, I can see like how Fulham play, and I can see how he's made them more difficult to beat. I can look at Wilder and look at Sheffield United and look at the overlapping centre backs and whatnot, what they did last year, and the results that they got. You know, and we were impressed with some of these managers. Yeah, they did stuff that impressed us at some point, right? FA Cup is cool, right? But let's be real. It's a competition where the big teams rotate their teams, right? They play a lot of players that they don't get to play in the league, right? And they play half-assed because it's not a priority. So the big teams don't really go for it. So then we contend with the sort of middle and lower teams who either trying to battle relegation, or the middle teams are just, you know, middle teams, and that's it. So we should be able to beat them because we're Arsenal. So I don't put a lot of stock in that competition. I look at where we're finishing in the league, and I look at results like against Leeds and against Wolves and against Aston Villa. Yeah. And I'm like, is the Aston Villa coach better than our coach? Yeah, he is. Aston Villa, yes, he is.
I don't agree.
Because Arteta has done Ryan, Arteta has done nothing to prove otherwise. Yeah. This is his season, right? This is his season. We're looking at the squad. We've got world-class players in the squad.
I don't know.
Yeah. We've got. Yeah, hold on a minute. Aubameyang is world class. Yeah, and we're seeing the worst Aubameyang that we've ever seen. Don't shake your head.
I don't think
Aubameyang is a certified 20+ goal a season striker, and he has been for years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
In wherever he's played, we are seeing. Hold on a minute, mate.
I love your passion, mate. You've sold me. I agree with you.
I don't
agree with you about Aubameyang being world class. That's it.
He's world class.
Everything else, man. Mate, you've sold me.
Champions League, German League, Premier League. Yeah, he does the bits. Even last year, right from the left, when you got players that you can move out of position and they still do the business. Yeah, he's world class, right? There was big arguments about who's better, Aubameyang, who's better, Kane, who's better, Aguero. It was a genuine debate. Yeah, don't let his form under Arteta this season fool you. Yeah, because we've never seen him this bad, right? In fact, let me ask you. Yeah, all the players that are playing for Arsenal right now, have we ever seen them as bad as we're seeing right now? In their careers, when have they been worse?
I mean, I guess some people might say Giroud for that stretch that pretty much knocked us out of any attempt, right? He looked pretty bad after having a decent run. But I mean,
William comes here, worst we've ever seen him. So Aubameyang this season, worst we've ever seen him. Lacazette, worst we've ever seen him. Yeah,
he has no. Hang on, right. With Lacazette, he has been getting better. The only thing he can't do, which he never really does since 2018, is score goals. He has slightly,
but we've seen it. But we've seen the worst we've ever seen him is under this management. The worst we've ever seen him. Yeah, literally, we have seen players like the shittest we've ever seen him under this management. So when I ask you that question, who is a worse manager? Who is Arteta better than in the Premier League? And I'm still waiting for some names. Like, let me hear it.
So I'm gonna just say I'll use Wilder as an example. You said, or maybe you said Scott Parker. It doesn't really matter who you said. So you said, oh, yeah, Scott Parker. You see what he's doing with the team. Well, fantastic. You know what kind of style he's playing. They're 19th in the league. So he could be like, have this crazy plan, all these equations on the board, and like, you know exactly what he's doing. It's like, oh, man, what a good thing. But they're 19th. So I don't care what he's doing. I don't care if he's pulling rabbits out of his hat. I don't care what he's doing. He's in 19th. This is a results business. So I'm gonna take my manager in whether it's 11th. I'm not saying we're fucking going to Champions League or winning the title. I'm not saying that, but you can't say he's worse than Scott Parker. You can't say he's worse than Chris Wilder. They're bottom dweller. They're going down. And yes, I get it. Based on like our roster, we should be better. But like Willian, He probably shouldn't even get into the Fulham side. He probably shouldn't even get into the Sheffield side the way those teams are playing. So, and it's tough for me because I think tactically Arteta, I won't say genius, but I think he's getting there. I think
no, he's definitely not a genius, mate.
I disagree, but I think tactics. I think he's bringing something fresh to the team. I think he's doing really good things. I think where he lacks, I think where he lacks and where he really doesn't do a good job is the substitutions. They're really bad. A lot of times they don't make any sense. And then another point you brought up, you said we have world-class players. You said plural players. And the only person you said was Aubameyang, who in my opinion, I don't think he's a world-class player, at least not anymore. And then who else? Who would be your second best player? Could you say
not anymore? Like, listen, we were singing the guy's praises last year. That was just last season. That was just last season.
An FA Cup, and I that's awesome.
And since he's joined us, he's banged more than 20 goals a season. So why would we turn around and be like, actually, he's not really world class when he's been our top striker since he joined?
Okay, so fine. So then let's just say who else is world class on our team? Because you said players like
Partey. I'd say Partey is world class.
I mean, we haven't seen him enough because he's been hurt so much.
I know. I've seen him at Atletico Madrid. He wasn't born the other day. Like I've seen him play before.
Yeah, but again, I think it's just him integrating into our system. And then to answer your question too, I think Mike Hurts brought up a really good point. I think he's revitalized Lacazette. Lacazette was our player of the season 2 years ago. He was terrible. Now he's listen, I don't want to extend him. I don't want to extend him. It makes zero sense to extend him in the summer. Don't give him a contract extension. Do not. But honestly, if someone asks me that, I have to think about it for a few seconds and be like, he's playing really freaking good and like he's fitting the system pretty well. And then like, no, you can't. And then you look at, the external factors. You can't extend him. You just can't. Even with the Balogun, the Eddie situation and all of that craziness that's going on. No, we have to sign a new striker. That's just how it's going to be. So I mean,
there was a question that came in there for me. Yeah. He's like, has he been bad in the last sort of 5 to 10 games? No. There has been improvement. Do I think that improvement is because of the manager or in spite of the manager? Yeah, because anything that's good that's happened in Arsenal, I don't think it's because of Arteta. I think some things have accidentally happened, or injuries or whatever. and the players and their own character have been able to sort of lift the team, right? But we were all here. People could go back and watch previous episodes, right? Where we were, Arteta, play him, play some of the Europa League team, right? Because they're playing a lot better. We've been there, and he wasn't doing it. It's Willian, game after game after game. And then when there was injuries and COVID and stuff, that's when certain guys had to come in. When us fans was calling for it ages ago. Am I supposed to know more than the Arsenal manager about team selection? No, yeah, but we all did. We all saw it before he did, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like let's not have short memories just because things have sort of fallen in his favor, yeah, over the last few games. Even with Lacazette, yeah, Lacazette has improved his form, but Arteta was trying Aubameyang in the middle. Do you know what I mean? He did that for a few games or whatnot. And then Lacazette gets another chance, and then he takes it, and then he made himself sort of undroppable. But that's on Lacazette, not because the manager was inspired and has brought the best out of him. Because as much as we've seen improvement, we've seen him at his worst as well.
So what do you think about Pepe then? Because he's playing well the last few games. Do you think it's because of inspired the manager?
Pepe got moved to the left, yeah, because Aubameyang had family issues and whatnot. He didn't. Martinelli's fitness probably ain't up there, so somebody has to play on the left. Again, it's not through an inspired selection. It's like through necessity.
So you say that you don't know.
Let me say something for a second. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. I think Arteta is where he needs to be, where he's going to be. He's not going to. You're comparing him to coaches who've been coaching for a lot longer. So for me, it's like apples and oranges. I really can't compare, and that's why I don't want to say yes or no to it, because knowledge-wise, he's not there yet. But what I have seen and what I believe is going on is he doesn't have a squad, so he's got to try to manage them right as best he can. Right, think about it. Think about this. The run where we had the 6 or 7 games where we looked pretty good, right? Eventually, that was going to come to an end, and we knew why, right? Because the youngsters that were kind of the catalyst for that whole thing, they can't play, 10+ games in a row, and they're gonna wear down. That's exactly what's happened. We all look at it, with Rowe, and think, you know what? He needs a rest. Right, he needs a rest. Same thing with Saka. We said the same thing with Saka. He can't do this over and over again because he's showing us a lot. I mean, the one thing that I did notice in the last couple of games, where yes, we haven't won, but Pepe actually is playing more than just waiting for the ball to come in and doing something with it. He's actually doing a lot without it. Right, he's tracking back. I don't know why, because I would believe that Arteta is asking him to do the same thing all season. He hasn't. All of a sudden now he's doing it, right? I don't know what that was. Was that when they moved Saka over to the right and he started to excel there? That what, maybe I should do what the manager's asking me to do, the coach is asking me to do. Because when I see him track back after losing the ball and get it back again, I'm like, well, where was that in the beginning of the season? Was the coach not asking him? I'll be surprised he wasn't. I believe Pepe either was in his feelings or doing something out in Wonderland. Who knows? And that's why we didn't see it, because we're seeing it now, and that's what we want. That's what's going to keep him on the field. We know that once in a while there's a move that he's going to make and get a shot off any time and score. We've seen it, right? But he's got to do the other work, and that's But can they do that? Sustain it? I don't think so. I don't think we have the squad for that. So it's a whole lot of everything that's causing what we're seeing out there. So then to say, is Arteta, the worst manager? I don't think we can. That's not. I don't like the question, because I don't think we can answer that truthfully based on the entire picture that we have going on now.
What I can say though is that the form that we've been in this season, which at times has been atrocious. Yeah, you take that and you take that same manager and put him at Fulham. Yeah, they're maybe even lower than where they are now. Yeah?
How could you say that?
Because we're Arsenal, Ryan. We're Arsenal, yeah. We're Arsenal. We were getting beat by everyone. We were getting beat by everyone. Yeah. No. We were 13th in the league. We're Arsenal FC. If you take Arsenal to the bottom half of the table, what the fuck are you gonna do with Fulham? Yeah. Come on, we're Arsenal. We've got the players that we have. No, our squad ain't that bad. Our squad is better than Aston Villa's. Yeah, let's look at the teams that are above us. Yeah,
I think Villa's squad is very underrated.
Don't wind me up, yeah. Don't piss me off, yeah. They got Ollie Watkins. Don't piss me off, yeah. They've got They got Grealish, yeah. That's it. Who else are you taking from Villa's team that gets into our team? Who are you taking from a Leeds team that gets into our team? Go on.
I think just as a team, I think if all of their pieces
because of the manager.
No, I don't know.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. Go man for man then. If it's not down to the manager and it's the actual players that are lacking at Arsenal, yeah. Tell me who from Villa gets.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's definitely the players. I'm just saying it's more complicated. It's more complicated than it's the manager, it's not the players. It's more complex. And call me crazy. I don't care what anyone tells me. Arteta is a better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I do not care what anyone says.
Right.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not good.
Let me just stop there. Right. I'm going to answer this question. Right. I was buying into it. I was buying into it. I was listening. I'm listening to you all. I think you've all made some really, really good points. When we're talking about, for instance, Lacazette and Cory, you'll be with me on this one because you were saying the same when we were saying it on this podcast ourselves. Why aren't we playing the Europa League squad in the Premier League? We was advocates for that. Lacazette was playing in that Europa League squad. He's been playing with these youngsters. I think that's what made him move on because he was getting on with them. He got a rapport with them, so that's what pushed him on. So that's why I think he's been doing really well so far because he's been playing with and he's been training with the likes of Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, people like that. So that's why I think he's been pushed on because he's, they've made a bit of a click together, but it's worked for him. And we were saying that for ages. As for the Aubameyang's not world class, I know there's a lot of people out there like you said that saying they're not saying he's world class because it's not last season. Last season was there. I was saying that, and Ryan can vouch for me. I've never seen him as world class. That's just my opinion. I'm not gonna destroy. I'm not gonna go all out on it because that's just my opinion. I've never thought he was world class. There's very few players that I think are world class. And I think that at the minute, the list is probably one person at the minute who I believe is world class.
I think that's where the argument gets crazy is everyone's definition of world class is different. And you have to be like, okay, when you're doing world class, what the criteria has to be set before you have that discussion. Because some people be like, I agree with that. So it is tough. And to almost contrast from what Mike's saying, I loved Aubameyang. I loved him at Dortmund. I dreamt of him coming to Arsenal. I think we got him probably 2 seasons too late. Not saying he didn't do a good job. He did. I wish we got him 2 years earlier, though. But I think someone says in the comments, Humble Gummas in the comments, he's a world-class finisher. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, I agree with that. But just the way he plays and the way Arteta wants us to play, and I know, Cory, you don't see that, but what I think Arteta wants us to play, I think I just don't think Aubameyang really fits it because Arteta wants all of players to work.
Well, we're not getting into Aubameyang.
Aubameyang doesn't work.
We'll do that.
I want to hear what you think. What is Arteta? What is he trying to do? What is his style of play?
That's what I was trying to get at before I got rudely interrupted by this twat over here, underneath me. So what I was trying to say was, and before I got rudely interrupted. Yeah, I can't even say anything now properly. Jesus. But yeah, what I'm saying is yes, I agree. I watched the podcast last night. It was the Thursday show, the Thursday Live show. It's another show on Arse Brothers. Go watch it. It's really good. And Max made a good point about Arteta. And this is where I think this is what you're coming into, Cory. For me, the problem with Arteta is a season too. He come into the job a season too early. We needed a stable manager coming out from Arsene Wenger. We needed someone to shore up the ship and move us slightly forward, get things so we're not in this position where we are now. Earlier on in the season, we was pushing near the bottom. Now we're sort of hanging on mid-table, going against teams like, Southampton, Wolves, now Lee, Aston Villa. We're losing against these sort of types of teams where we shouldn't be. So this is why I believe Arteta's a season, maybe 2 seasons too early for us. We needed that consistent, experienced manager in. And I think that's the difference there. That's the thing for me. And I agree with what you're saying. I really do. I personally don't think he's the worst manager in the Prem at this moment in time. I don't think he's the worst. there is a lot of faults out there. I am not disregarding that at all. There is some definite faults. It's the way he does interviews. Like we've said, the team selections, the substitutions, a lot of things that he's doing is very, very frustrating. And I'll be the first one to say it. They are. His substitutions sometimes are madness, and it drives me fucking crazy.
When William came on the other day.
Yes,
like,
exactly. Stuff like that.
Fuck out of here, bro. You bring up what we need a goal. You bringing on William, yeah? Based on what? And Martinelli sat there on the bench. It's like this just seems like pure incompetence to me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When someone does that, you're like, what was your thing? Do you even really want to win this match? Because that's not a decision that somebody would make when they really want to get a point or 3 points from a game. Yeah. It's not. I
agree.
You bring out a guy that's woefully out of form, that ain't done nothing since the very first game of the season. Yeah. And then but I'm supposed to believe that like there's a few managers that like are not worse than him. Even like David Moyes. Is David Moyes better than Arteta?
Probably not.
So what's the problem? So what's going on? What's going on then?
Yeah. I ain't gonna.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, one thing that Mikey said that I kind of, I kind of listened to a little intensely is that they brought Arteta in a year or two too early. I actually think they kind of did things backwards. Yeah. Right. Because they, what needed to change was everybody above Arteta. That needed to change first, because only then I think then you bring in a manager that fits the style or, fits whatever you're trying to do. I think we kind of did things a little bit backwards. I don't know if it was on purpose or by mistake that, they find it, they kind of brought in, they needed to have brought in a director of football operations, all of that, and then try to figure out who the manager and coach is going to be for the team. They kind of did things a little bit backwards, because my thinking is when they finally do finish that middle office area, the middle tier of the business, they may come and say Arteta isn't our man anyways, and they're going to change because, this is not where they want to go. And they realize that, like everybody else, he's just not ready. And we have the players. I need to see better from them. And that's kind of the problem that I see, is that it's not Arteta. It's everybody it's the person that hired him. And maybe that person is even here now. But the person that should be managing that part of the business, I don't think is doing a good job, or they still are just doing this. Everybody's kind of pitching in here and there. And that's the problem, is that until I feel like the area between the board and the players is sorted out, we're going to be in this flux, of this area that we're sitting in right now. I agree.
Arsenal is a badly run club. Bottom line is it's a badly run club. We've had so much in terms of like sporting directors and stuff. We've had comings and goings. We've had, talk of play, them taking little, under the table handouts and, overpaying for players. And, we've had to cancel contracts as opposed to get any return for a lot of the players that went in the January window. Just loss after loss after loss. It's like, it's a badly run club. The players have been badly mismanaged, to the point of where they have no value by the time we're done with them. It's been a pretty much a shit show, from top to bottom. But now, when I look at the team and I look at the squad, because I think Gary said that, we don't have the squad. But I'm looking at it and I'm looking at Gabriel, Pablo Mari, Odegaard, Ceballos, and whatever. And it's like, it ain't that bad. This squad
but I mean,
ain't that bad.
You got to tell me like the midfield is where we have a problem, and that's always been a problem, no matter who we've had on the team for the last 3 or 4 years. We've always said the midfield is just we're lacking. But
you know
there.
what? But we were this midfield has got, in terms of what we've acquired, has got better, from when Emery was in charge, right? And we got to the Europa League final, right? And we were like 1 game away from top 4 under Emery, with a worse squad, right? The squad has, with guys like Partey, I know he hasn't played that much, but with Partey and Saka and those guys emerging, playing in great, having great form and showing us football that we haven't actually seen for a while, but we're still where we are. Do you know what I mean? No, it'd be great if we can get to Europa League final again, but I'm not sure if I see it. And, we finished, 5th, when Emery was in charge. Like I said, that close, a Crystal Palace and a Brighton result away from getting top 4. right? We ain't going to be nowhere near that this year. So we have regressed. We've gone backwards with better players.
And so it's to say that. So when we went 22 games unbeaten under Emery, I know Max said this. I agreed with him. I don't know if Mike agreed, but I know the Arse Bros said this. We weren't buying the Emery hype. We didn't believe it. They were playing, they went 22 games unbeaten, but they weren't playing well. They were getting by the skin of the teeth, playing fine lines, fine margins. And I think that's part of the reason why we finished 5th. I don't think we were a good team. And we said that at the end of the season too. We said we weren't a good team. We said we weren't there yet. And I think we do have a better squad. And I think there's just I think it's just more complicated than just player manager. And then to kind of go back to the Arteta thing, I've said this on multiple podcasts. I think that Arsenal's project is not like the players and like Saka. It's Arteta. Arteta is the project. Arteta is the project. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what Mike is saying. I think we brought him in too early. We brought in Emery. He's the master of Europa League. We wanted to bring him in, have us get us a Europa League trophy, get us in the Champions League, kind of right the ship. We had the kind of the players to do it, not to win the league, but to get in Champions League, maybe like sneak out of the group stages, which obviously we don't want that. We want to clear group stages, get into Champions League finals. We want to win. I get that, but we're just not there yet. That's just the facts. We're not there yet. But things happen. I think somebody or some people didn't buy into the Emery thing. They weren't liking the way what he was doing. People were, I guess, kind of what we were talking about with Arteta. I think cliques were forming, factions were going at it. And I think slowly but surely it got Arteta out of here. And I think the board was like, well, shit, what are we going to do? We wanted Arteta to stay a couple more years and kind of before we bet in Arteta, before we insert our project into the squad. And I think they panicked because they didn't know what to do. They didn't have any other choices. They said, you know what, we'll throw him in there. Probably going to have 2 really bad seasons, but we're not going to get relegated. So it doesn't matter. As long as we get relegated, we'll be fine. And I think when we kind of were flirting with it for like a game or two, which I still say we were not. I still said we weren't getting relegated, but that's when people started panicking, like Arteta out. But I think it's a mismanagement in the very high up, and I just think it's tough because you gotta work. You have to bet in the manager, but at the same time, we do have players that aren't good enough. A lot of players that aren't good enough. I don't think the squad is as good as you think, Cory, but that's fine. Opinions are fine. And you also got to realize too, which again, this is all speculation and hearsay, which whatever, but there's talk that in Williams' contract, he has to play a certain amount of games. Whether you believe that or not, that's fine. Me, based on the amount he's playing, I believe that's true because he is bad. He should not be playing this much. Or Arteta can be like, you know what? He's playing so bad. Nobody expect. Listen, and we talked about this on the Arse Bros. We did not think William was going to be this bad. We didn't like the signing. We didn't like it. But like he was one of Chelsea's best players, and Chelsea were our rivals, and they're better than us now. And they were better than us last year. So if I tell you, and I said this on Same Old Arsenal, if I tell you, okay, we're going to bring in a guy, he's early 30s, he's kind of old, but he was one of the best players on the team last season, and it's a Big Six team. You're going to shake my hand and be like, sign me the fuck up. But the problem is he came from Chelsea, and that's a stigma because all we do is sign Chelsea's rejects, which is true, and that doesn't bode well. And then I think me and Max were kind of like, oh, he'll play the 10, he'll do this, he'll do that, which he hasn't done. And
yeah, I remember that conversation because me and Manny was saying pretty much what he's been doing now and what Cory's saying now is shit.
Yeah, and to be fair, like he's bad, and I think it was a bad signing. I've never been a William guy, but no one thought he was going to be this bad. Let's be fucking honest. We didn't think he was going to be this bad. And then my last point is, I didn't watch this, but everyone says this to me in the Scum documentary. Apparently, when they do subs and starting 11s, the fucking agents and the board have a say in what's going on. I think there's like clips in the documentary thing that where like it shows like Jose Mourinho talking to the board, talking to the agents. It's like, well, we got to play him to keep his agent happy. We got to do this. We got to play him, bring him on. And it's not just a Jose thing. Jose's not fully in charge of of the 11 and the subs. Now, I didn't watch it, so I don't know for sure, but that's just what
I watched it. I watched it.
So,
I didn't see nothing like that.
That's just what.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing.
I didn't watch it, but I didn't see nothing like that.
And if it was the case, they're not going to show it on that documentary. That's
fair.
That makes the team. That make Jose and the team look weak. They wouldn't show it. I didn't see nothing like that anyway.
The documentary itself makes the team look weak. So
I mean, that's self-sabotage.
Can you imagine if they followed us this year, though? Can you imagine if they followed us? I would love all or nothing Arsenal just to see in the dressing room and who talks and who don't and what the manager says and stuff. Like, I would love it because I'm a bit like, what the fuck are you lot doing? Like, when we're just bad game after game, when we do lose to Wolves and Southampton and Aston Villa, yeah, I'm like, how is this going down? With everybody at the club, because it's become acceptable. Now I'm sitting here, right, talking to you guys, and you're like, no, Arteta's not that bad. It's just a project and stuff like that. Whereas if we went back like 10 years, even, yeah, none of this shit would be acceptable. It would be an absolute fucking disaster, yeah, for us to go and just, to lose 3 out of 5 games, absolute disaster. But now we're a bit like, it's not that bad. It's the players. Our squad is not that good. The fact that we can spend 60 million, 55 million on 2 strikers, yeah, 45 million on the midfielder, 35, 25 on the left back, spend all this money and still be like, oh, we ain't got the players. 72 million on a winger, we ain't got the players. Yeah,
just because you spend a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to get the right players.
Yeah, exactly.
But we didn't complain about none of those signings.
No, they blew up in our faces over and over again.
But before they came, they were all certified. Yeah, Pepe scored 20-something goals.
I wasn't a fan of Pepe signing. I wanted Zaha because that was the plan. The plan was our Emery brought to the board, hey, I want Zaha, get me Zaha. So what does the board do? Okay, cool. The next day he wakes up, Pepe is on his porch saying, "Hey, boss, I'm your new winger."
I was cool when they bring in a player from France and they say this guy only scored 2 less goals than Mbappe. Yeah, in the same season.
The French league is a joke.
Yeah, the French league. But when we watched him and we saw his style of play, the skill, yeah, the cannon of a left foot, right? I'm like, this boy is talented. We can see even now. We can see the talent that he's got, right? So and the age that he was as well. Zaha is close to his 30s, yeah. Pepe came in when he was like, 23, 24, right? Yeah. So it made more sense as an investment to go for someone like Zaha. Has never scored 20-something goals. I know it's a different league, but he ain't never got close to that in a season before. So we can dream and be like, look, this guy, like I said, was close to Mbappe's goal scoring record. So we can dream about the potential that he might have coming to the Premier League in an Arsenal squad. So I went against it. I went against Lacazette. I went against Aubameyang. I went against Partey. I was against none of them. Gabriel, I was happy about that. Tierney, I was really happy about that. So I can't look at the team and be like, all of a sudden, oh, they're all shit, because I have seen them play a lot better than what they've played this season.
So you're not going to give Arteta credit for the Gabriel signing because he made some good stuff. Arteta's made more good signings than not. No, but he's had a hand in it. It doesn't matter. He's had a hand in it. He's had more good signings than not. We talked about this on Sam with Arsenal on Tuesday. I think it was he had 4 good signings, 2 bad.
That's not his job, though. That's Edu's job.
But, no. It's both of their jobs.
The scouts work for Edu. The scouts report into Edu. Yeah, Edu might consult Arteta after the scouts have identified the player. Arteta's not identifying these players. He might sign off on them, but he does not go out. You don't see him, in other countries watching other players. You never seen him do that. Okay, you've never seen him do that. Yeah?
He was the reason Odegaard came to us. He called him up. That's what I mean. Again, it could be lip service. It could be all PC stuff.
We hear that all the time. Oh, we had a conversation and he convinced me. Bullshit. That's me. That's me.
Why come out and say that? No one prompted.
Because it's me. It's like when players after a game say, "Oh, you scored a hat trick. How do you feel about it?" Well, I'm just happy that the team got the result. And it's media training.
That's different.
You know what I mean? They don't talk about the fat goal bonus that they got, for scoring that hat trick. Yeah, they don't go back and talk about how they shagged their wife because they're so happy that they scored 3 goals. Right? There's it's all about the team. As long as I can help the team. It's just media training. It's good to say. It's like it gives the manager a bit of clout. It gets the people off his back when a player can come in and be like, yeah, I had a nice conversation with Arteta and he convinced me about the direction of the club. Bullshit. You ain't playing at Real Madrid.
But I don't get it. You're gonna bash Arteta for Willian, but you're not gonna praise him for
I'm not bashing him for signing Willian. I'm bashing him. I'm not even bashing Willian and Arteta directly, but this is the worst that we've seen Willian play. Yeah. So when it comes to being coached, when it comes to being
first year,
wait, Ryan, listen. When it comes to being coached, when it comes to being inspired, when it comes to getting the best out of your players, yeah, he's not doing that.
I don't agree.
William looks at him, yeah.
Do not agree.
William looks at him and thinks, "Fuck off!" Like, I mean, I'm not trying to play for you, yeah. He does not inspire William to want to play.
It's one player. It's one player.
Yeah, I could go through the whole team. The whole team has been shit. When we played against Villa, when we played against West Villa,
we weren't great. One of our best players the last 5 games.
No.
Xhaka was playing for a Xhaka wanted to go in the transfer window. He started playing good when we started to approach.
Okay, whatever.
When we started to approach the transfer window, yeah. That's why Xhaka played good.
You're naming one player. You're naming literally one player the entire time. Why Arteta is so bad? Because of Willian. There's so many players that are playing better.
Do you want me to keep going?
No.
I can go for everyone if you want. Yeah, everyone.
No.
Right. I'll do.
Hijack is Scunny, get out of here.
My point was, yeah, we have not seen these players play worse. Yeah,
Cory,
we have not.
Amazing.
We have not seen them play worse. Tell me, under Wenger, under Emery, when have we seen these players play worse? Tell me. Who? Name them. Tell me when it was that they played worse than what we see under Arteta.
I don't want to sidetrack the conversation, but I did want to talk a little bit about the Leeds game and whether we actually are going to bring a strong team to it, right?
We can do that. Mike, the floor is yours.
I know you're on a roll, Mike, Cory, but I did want to talk about that a little bit.
I love the passion, guys. I really do. I think it's great, but we've got to get on. Guy, I know Cory, man. What the fuck? Seriously, dude.
I'm pissed off, man.
This is the smooth guy we know.
I'm pissed off.
What happened?
I'm pissed off, man. It's like, we have a little run of games. We thought, it's picking up, and then I'm thinking, and I look back and think, hold on a minute, we've lost our last 2 league games, and we put in the flattest performance I've ever seen in an FA Cup game. Any lot want to disagree with me that we've never been as flat in an FA Cup game as what we were then?
I said after the FA Cup game, it left me bitter. You know, there was a bitter aftertaste to it. I hated it because it pissed me off more than anything. Yeah, but
I'm wondering why you don't feel like me after watching all of this. Yeah, getting pathetically knocked out by Southampton, who got done over by Man United. Yeah, 9-0. Yeah, we got knocked out by a team that got done over 9-0. Yeah, and you lot ain't that upset. Yeah. So that's why I'm getting so animated, because I want you lot to be a bit more like me. Yeah, get a bit more.
Cory.
Let's stop all this flat, tepid bullshit around Arsenal. Yeah, let's fucking get a bit animated. Let's get a bit passionate. Come on.
I'm pissed off, mate, but I'm keeping it together.
Yeah, I'm gonna die if I try to keep up with you. My heart can't take that stuff.
Hey, I'm keeping it together because of the podcast. This is it. If we weren't on this, I'd probably be losing my shit.
You're cool, mate. You're the host. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Ryan.
I mean, I've got to keep it together. I've let you two run. You two have done.
Defending the team. Defending this team. Are you joking? Defending this manager.
This is your team, though, right, Cory? This is your team.
Yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, but
I'm not like, no, come on, this is not acceptable, man. This is not acceptable.
I kind of look at everything. So everything that I've seen is no surprise to me because of what we're looking at. You look at top down, what's going on. You can't be surprised by it. We can definitely be upset about it for sure, but we can't be surprised because they're showing us their cards. The cards are on the table, face up. We can see it. That's the pain. What is in the glass? Is it Does it come from a plant?
It ain't fucking champagne this week, is it? My life.
Oh man.
All right, go on. Yeah, let's talk about Leeds.
Yeah, no. My like I said, my initial question is: are we going to come with a strong team or not? Are we playing for Europa League or are we playing for Premier League standings? That's what. I guess we'll see when the lineup comes out, kind of what he's thinking. I mean, do we have a better chance winning Europa, or can we go on a really good run in 15 games and kind of get 30 plus points out of it. I feel like Europa League is the best choice, for him. So I'm not expecting to have too much of a strong lineup. Maybe he will do some crazy things. I was listening earlier today, and Manny was on the show talking, and he was saying that, what if they just went crazy and put Saka at left back, and then brought Martinelli and brought him at top, and then see how that works out, and go a little bit stronger with a side. That would be crazy. I don't think Arteta would do that because he probably doesn't have the confidence that the players could do it, even though I think they could.
Well,
but
I
have
have
a feeling he's going
to Saka at left back when he brings on the sub.
Yeah,
he always takes off Cedric, doesn't he? When because Tierney's not on, and then he sticks Saka at left back and brings on Aubameyang, who's we all know is out of form. So this is a massive issue. I get where you're coming from. Personally, if it was me now, my team, I'd still go for broke on everything because we can't keep losing in the league, and we can't really lose the Europa.
Right.
These are the games that we need to get into. I did want to go into a little bit Benfica because obviously that's coming up on Thursday, but because these two have wasted so much time arguing with each other.
These two,
really
I tried reeling it back for you.
You weren't going to the Leeds game though, Ryan. I don't think you had the Leeds game in your.
You know what? I'll give you some.
When I started talking about fucking Leeds, you went on about Aston Villa.
I did. Well, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Picture it didn't happen.
Right,
I think we start Odegaard. I think we should start Odegaard on Sunday. There you go. Deal with. How do you guys feel about that? Do you play ESR or do you play Odegaard?
Forget the fucking team. At the end of the day, who gives a shit? We're done with that now.
I think Odegaard should play.
Do your predictions.
That's my prediction. Odegaard's going to play instead of ESR.
Score predictions.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go. You're the ones flapping your mouth.
I really think Leeds doesn't have a strong team. I think no matter who we play, we're going to be fine. So I'm going to say, personally, I think it's going to be 2-0 to the Arsenal.
You really think we're going to get 2 goals?
Yeah. We have Pepe. I think Pepe's firing well. I think Lacazette's playing well. Saka's playing well. If those three play, I think it'll be good. And if Odegaard is what we all think he's supposed to be, I think he's going to slot in nicely to the team. And I think he's going to start. I think he should start. I think what Gary said, ESR has tired legs. We need to sit him. And I think we need him against Benfica. 100%. He's got ESR needs to play Sunday. 100%. No tiredness, no nothing. So I think you have to play Odegaard here. I just do. And I mean, defensively, they have what are they at Bamford? I'm not really worried about it. Again, famous last words. And Cory's laughing, and he's going to be laughing even harder at me when Leeds score. He's going to be thinking of me first. Because I'm not scared of their team.
He's back on Friday, Cory, so you can unleash on him.
Can't wait.
You can do.
Why did you say that?
I'll step out
now.
I'll step out, mate. I'll let you unleash. I'll let you host. You can go.
Yeah, I'll bring you over to my kitchen.
Go
you
to
can
town.
hang out.
It's all yours.
I don't think you want to go to the kitchen.
We're not going in your kitchen.
I'm just saying, if me and Cory are going to be here, you can hang out in the kitchen. There's nothing wrong with that.
I am not going in your kitchen ever. I don't even care, mate. You can buy me a flight to your, you can do whatever. I ain't going. I ain't going nowhere near your kitchen. Cory, do you want to go with your score predictions, mate?
Well, man.
Actually, while you're there, mate, just before you do your score prediction, I'll let you answer this question from Mike Hertz. Who would you pick to partner Xhaka in midfield? Just a quick one, mate.
Xhaka, Ceballos. If Party being injured, yeah.
Not El Nene.
Who? El Nene. Nah, when El Nene's cool. El Nene's cool, but I just feel a little bit underwhelmed when I see him in the starting lineup. Do you know what I mean? It's like when I see him in the Europa starting lineup, yeah, we might get a flipping outside of the box, 30-yard banger out of him, yeah. In the Premier League, he's going to do a job, and I'm not going to lie, it's only slightly better with Ceballos. I don't necessarily think Ceballos is going to do that much better, but I just feel like it still makes us seem like we're being a bit more positive, with what we're trying to get out of the game. but it's not a lot in it, to be fair, you know. But with Leeds, the thing is with this Leeds team, they can lose on any given day, they can win on every game. They've beaten Leicester recently, you know. They beat Crystal Palace, you know. So they can pretty much beat almost anyone outside of like the top three, you know, if it's their day. So it just depends on that. When we played them last time, we got a man sent off. They had the most shots off and on target. They had the most possession and whatnot. So yeah, we were a man down after 51 minutes, but they still had they were still better than us. So I might have to go for being optimistic. I'll go for a draw. I'll go for like a 1-1.
Gary, mate.
I feel like I said something really crazy on. I was on a podcast yesterday, and I said 4-2, and everybody like looked at me like, "You're sick, man. You can't say that." But I just feel like I'm looking for the Leeds team that's gonna like open up the gates and let us in, kind of thing. Because that's what we need, and two, I think we can do it. I mean, I believe we have the players to do that. I mean, I'm gonna go with a 3-2 to win to the Arsenal. I think we're gonna open up. Hopefully, we should open up the game, and with our midfield, I think we might give up some a lot of shots. But yeah, I think we'll be able to get a one goal lead and win. Yeah, I'm
going for a loss, guys. I don't think we're going to win this one.
Okay, Cory.
Imagine that in 2021, yeah, our host, yeah, Scunny is predicting a loss to a new.
I was going to predict a loss against Aston Villa, if I'm being honest, but I just went.
And you would have been right. You would have won money. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I agree with Cory. I'm going.
Apparently,
with this one.
I'm overreacting. I'm overdoing it. Yeah. Because of the state of the team and the manager that we've got. Our manager's so good, yeah, that you predicted a loss against Aston Villa, and you were right, yeah, and you're predicting a loss against Leeds.
Oh no, I went with 3-0 Arsenal because I was saying like we need redemption. I wish I never did that now.
Why would you do that?
You wanted to say a loss.
Why would I do that?
This is how bad things have got, man.
Yeah,
this is how bad things have got. These are newly promoted teams, yeah. Villa just about was safe last year, yeah, and they got 6 points of us this year. That's how bad things are, yeah. But cool, Arteta's the right man. Cool. Let's give him 5 more years. Like, let's work on this project.
This isn't just an Arteta. This is not an. I know you keep bringing Arteta. It's not only an Arteta project. I mean, there's a lot of things going into this thing. There's a lot. This is a mess. We know that. This team is a mess. Top down mess.
So, Mike, what's
takes
your
a lot
score?
to clean it up.
I reckon we're going to lose 2-0.
Okay. Well,
2-0.
I don't even think we're going to score.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. Manny, please forgive me, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I think David Luiz is going to start, and I think he's going to have a great game. Whenever he comes back from a red card, he plays out of his mind. Granted, as soon as he does that, I want him benched for like probably the rest of the season.
You know what? You might have a point because with our midfield, we might need somebody to actually get the ball up to the front line, and if he's having one of those good games, that's what it'll do. So, you might have a point. So we'll see.
Yeah, because what was it? The Man City FA Cup semifinal. Luis played out of his mind after I think it was that game, right? Where he got sent because he got sent off against Man City, or no, maybe it wasn't that. But I know he got sent off against Man City. Then when he came back, he had 3-game suspension. He came back and he was like close to the man of the match. So I mean, still though, we can't be persisting with it. No, I agree, but I'm saying we can't be persistent with him every game. But I think he's going to play well, and I think Leeds are going to find it fairly tough to score. Maybe I almost want to say 2-1 Arsenal, but I don't know. I just
right.
I want to add some spice. I don't want to be negative like Cory.
2-0. So just quickly, as regards to Benfica, we have got them on Thursday, the 25th. Just give you a quick heads up about Benfica, and we'll just do quick scores. I'm not going into it because it's getting on a bit now, and that time's gone. So they aren't playing that great at the moment. They have lost more than what they've won at this moment in time in the last few games. So yeah, they're not doing great. They're 4th in their league table, and we've got them coming up. And Is it in Greece or has that been cancelled again? And then it's somewhere else. That's the thing that I wanted to get on.
It's
but
in Greece
now. But yeah, apparently it got cancelled, so we don't know where we're playing at the minute. But
Wait,
it's on
really?
neutral ground. Yeah, apparently.
They confirmed it. They confirmed it was Greece today, did they not?
They did at some point, but I think it's been cancelled again, and I don't know where it is. And I think the next leg's in Rome. I think. Don't count me on that one. If someone's in the chat, they know. Please, if you quick go for it. Sorry, excuse me, and we'll get somewhere there. But I assume it has been cancelled. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
No, it's going to be in Athens.
Is it? I mean, the Athens. I mean, that's changed because of the
first leg is going to be in Rome.
They had a lockdown. They had a lockdown in Greece, so I think that's the issue there.
Yeah,
so they just as soon as they announced it, later they announced that they had a lockdown, so no ins and outs. So
it's madness because the reason why it's not being played over here, or even over there, is because the UK has banned flights to and from Portugal due to the crap that's going on now.
And Arsenal supposedly has to pay for that. I don't understand how that works. Right?
I ain't got a clue.
Shouldn't the league pay for that kind of stuff?
I ain't got a clue how this all works, mate. I just don't know. But apparently they are being played in neutral grounds. Mike Hertz has put Roma. The first was Bucharest. I don't know if that's changed or not. That's from Sentiment. So either it's one of them. It's in a European city somewhere. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, come on, it don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. We're looking. We're getting on with it.
Neutral is neutral. It don't matter.
Neutral ground. Cory, go with your prediction for Benfica.
1-0 to Benfica. Yeah, they're even though their form has not been great, they still won their last couple matches. Yeah, we've lost our last couple matches. Their form is better than ours. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of familiar faces. Do you know what I mean? Otamendi is there. Vertonghen's there. Otamendi, Vertonghen. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was there.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna Tarabat or whatever. Anyway, but we know him.
Oh, I know about Tarat.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a few players that we recognise. Obviously, they play in a Premier League.
There as well, is it Vigo or Vigal, or whatever his name is? Yeah. They've got some.
Yeah. So they got some Premiership players. Yeah, they've got players that are used to playing against us. So.
Sorry, I've just looked at there. I'm sorry, I looked shocked there because I've just seen a name that I hadn't seen for years, and I thought he was retired. And is it Quaresma? Is it Vitória in Portugal? I thought he retired. He's older than me.
Yeah, I thought he was retired as well.
Yeah, he's same age.
Yeah,
as me. 37. Yeah, it's the same age as me.
Wow.
I thought he'd retired, but no, he's still going. Sorry, I apologise for just interrupting, mate. But I've just seen. Their last game, it was against Vitória in a Portuguese league game, and that name just popped up. I was like, "Hey,
I used to love Quaresma. The skill, yeah, I liked him as a player. He's good to watch
as well, aren't you?
But yeah, I'm not too optimistic. I do think we should put. I think I agree with Gary. Like, this should be our priority. So against Leeds, you know what? If we're winning or we're losing, take off our better players if you need, 70th minute or whatnot. Give them a rest. Take off the Saka. Take off ESR if he does play. Whoever's, take off Lacazette, and save them for this game. Don't go all out to beat Leeds, because I feel like this is more important. But saying that, because I'm predicting maybe a 1-1 with Leeds, I don't think we're going to play that well. I don't think we're necessarily going to just really light up Benfica either. So, yeah, I'm saying either 1-0 to Benfica or a 0-0.
Ryan?
Sorry. I think whatever. I don't care. It's 3-1 Arsenal. I
Benfica. Don't care.
No. I don't like. I was going to be funny and say 6-0, but I don't think Benfica's that. I don't care that they're on 4. They won their last 2 games against Portuguese team. Portuguese league might as well be fucking League One. I don't care. I'm not worried about Benfica. That I think they have pieces that are like fairly good. But they're old. Otamendi's probably going to concede like 2 penalties to us. He's he's a dirty player. He'll probably get sent off. He probably thinks, oh, back in my day when I was in Man City, I was eating with you kids for breakfast, and he'll probably 2-foot Pepe and get sent off. So we're gonna beat them. It's not an issue here. I think the fact that it's in a neutral location, I think actually benefits us. I don't think we haven't really been playing very well at home. So I'm gonna say 3-1 to the Arse.
Gary, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I took a look at some of their games, and then I also looked at some of the Leeds games, just kind of leading into this. And the thing that I think what both games showed, both teams showed me, is that they will give us goals. They will. We just have to want to score, because they will. I think they will do that for us. I don't think their defense is going to be that solid that it's going to.
Otamendi is their defense. That's that's as solid as it's going to get.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we should be able to get something out of this game. I know Cory, from looking at the comments, Cory doesn't like it when he says we're going to lose and everybody else says we're going to win. I guess, Mike, you're going to have to kind of keep this neutral, I guess, because I do think we can get a win out of this. Because I do feel like we should be trying to win this game. So whoever is iffy for this game this weekend should sit, right? I mean, if we go strong, then we should be able to win this weekend. But, if Cory's right about that, then we should be pulling guys at halftime if we need to, just to make, we look, we jump out ahead of them and we can pull guys out. So I feel like we should be able to get something out of this game. I could see us, I'm going to go 2-1 for the game, Arsenal.
No, that's the one that's the scoreline I was going to go for, 2-1 Arsenal. Right, on that note, it's been a good one. It's gone a lot longer than I thought it would have gone. This podcast is probably our longest one, Cory. So yeah, you've done well, mate. There. So yes, guys, thank you very much for joining in again with us. Gary, thanks for coming on again.
Yep, thank you.
Ryan, as always, mate. I think you're coming on next week. I'm going to let Cory loose on you. Cory, again, yes, you'll be back next week. Hopefully,
pray we don't lose. Pray, all of you. Pray we don't lose.
I just gotta hope Sheffield loses too. That's my only saving grace. Sheffield lose, I'm still good. I'm still good. And Fulham, they all got to drop points.
Thanks for everyone joining us in the chat, everyone watching. Thanks very much. We are on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. You'll get all the shows from Arse Bros. I think there's 3 a week at the minute coming out, which is the OG, the Thursday live, and obviously us at the Friday Arse. There is sometimes a Wednesday one as well, so plenty of content coming at you. It's well worth a watch. A few of them are really good. So, yeah, please like and subscribe. Gary, you've got your own channel, mate. Do you want to plug it in again before we leave?
Yeah, so if you go into YouTube, type in DWTT Arsenal, you'll see me pop up in the front of that list. I right now do an after-game analysis or, kind of review based on what I see. So you should enjoy it, hopefully, because you get to see it through my eyes. So yeah,
it is a good show. I have watched it, so yeah, definitely worth a go, mate. Get liking and subscribing his show. Ryan, you can catch him also on Same Old Arsenal USA, although it does go on for about 4 or 5 hours.
Not recently. we've been keeping it at like 2 hours. We've been doing a good job.
Is that because I said something?
Well, to be yeah, I said something when we had the 5-hour show. I was like, never. I literally texted him, never. Period. Again. And learning from our mistakes.
I hope so.
His mistakes.
Christ, I don't think I could watch another 4-hour. I'm saying that I didn't watch 4-hour one, to be fair.
No one watched for the whole 4 hours.
No.
Thank you, Mike.
No worries. There you go. Again, guys, Cory, Ryan, we'll see you next week. Gary, hope you can join us again sometime soon, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Yep, thank you.
Again, everyone in the chat, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
All right. Thank you, Cory. Thank you, Ryan and Mike. Yeah, thanks everybody in the chat room.